I want to change gears here and get to Trey Lance because we mentioned how you can't draw too many conclusions right now. Let me add a little bit onto that. If you were playing in a monsoon and the first time the team has been handed to you, and George Kittle is not playing, and you're not running the ball like you traditionally have run the ball, maybe let's not get carried away that Trey Lance didn't look fantastic in that football game. I went back and charted it and watched it, Buck. He had some nice throws on some deep overs before the monsoon took over. Some of the issues that he had are easily correctable. Like, for instance, you're playing in wet weather, and they were trying to throw some smoke screens, and he didn't get a grip on the football. So you see the ball kind of float out of his hand, and he missed some of those. He had a handful of drop passes. Design quarterback runs. I went through and there were 9 runs. I think he had 8 carries, but 9 runs. So they had a couple quarterback powers, couple zone reads, a couple quarterback draws. There was a sneak in there as well. But I'm watching this game and I'm watching how this unfolds, and I'm saying, okay, let's get George Kittle back. Let's play in a little bit normal weather, and then let's crank up the runs a little bit. You talked about Jalen Hurts the other day. What do you have? 15 carries, 18 carries, something like that the other day.
To me, Trey Lance of the night.
Yeah, Trey Lance. That's the blueprint right now. Until he can get a little bit more comfortable, let's use him more. Let's run him more. And when I look at his mistakes and some of the things, like they dropped a safety down and robbed, and that was his pick. He didn't see the late rotation, and they got him. That's just playing. He just hasn't played. So when you get that catalog of reps and you start seeing things, not just for the first time, he's going to be fine. I just want everybody to kind of just slow down on this panic. Oh my gosh, they're going to go right to Jimmy Garoppolo. They tried to give Jimmy Garoppolo away for a ham sandwich. They couldn't get anybody to give him one.
Yeah, no, I think there's a lot of that. And I think sometimes, DJ, there's a little internal pressure that may impact his play. Jimmy Garoppolo's there. He's well aware of Jimmy Garoppolo being behind him. He understands that now it may change the leash that he has. But if I'm the San Francisco 49ers, what I want to do is make sure that I build this offense around Trey Lance and make sure that he's comfortable. More runs. I think he can do so much more in the running game and still protect himself. More runs expands the running package, allows the defense to have to guard more stuff, and then it makes the passing game easier. I just think that the Niners are still trying to experiment with who he is and what he is. They'll figure it out. I think we'll see a recipe and a formula that works well for him as they continue to have success, not only individually, but collectively.
Yeah, you see he had 13 carries total there, but I went back and kind of watched those design quarterback runs. I think there were 8 or 9 of them. So I think you can even step that up a little bit more. He's built to be able to handle that. He made some big-time throws on some of those over routes. That's where he's comfortable. They were throwing a lot of stuff in the middle of the field, which I'm kind of conflicted on because you think it's wet weather. Middle of the field, they're shorter throws than trying to push the ball outside. But, Buck, for a young quarterback, there's a lot of mud, traffic in the middle. Sight lines, when you get out to the perimeter, it's a little bit easier. It's a little bit cleaner out there.
Yeah, it is. But when you throw it outside, you now have to rely more on arm talent and arm strength as opposed to, hey,
he's got that.
Figure out a way to make the play. And actually, so yeah, he has that. And we knew he had that. And he played in bad weather during his time in college. So I would just like to think that it's an ongoing evolution. Kyle Shanahan is trying to figure out how to play with the young quarterback. The young quarterback is trying to figure out how to play in the system. And they're also trying to integrate the pieces around him. It'll take time. Let's check back in 4 weeks. Let's check back in 8 weeks.
Yeah.
Let's see how it's progressing throughout this season.